Hello everyone, I welcome you to this AI fundamental course for everyone, and let's dive into the section of the Augmented Mind. And the lecture is basically the ghost in the machine. In this lecture, we are going to go through the history of AI and how it has evolved and um, is where it is now. Alright, let's begin. Close your eyes for just a second. Now, I want you to picture artificial intelligence. What do you see? Is it a shiny chrome robot with glowing red eyes walking slowly towards you? Or is it a hologram of a face floating in the air talking in a cold, monotone voice? You can open your eyes now. I want you to hold that image in your mind because for the next hour, we are going to completely shatter it. You see, I've been working in this field for over 20 years, and if there's one thing that I know for sure, it's that the biggest obstacle to understand AI isn't the technology, it's the magic. So, we look at it like it's this sudden mysterious force that appeared out of nowhere, like a thunderbolt from Zeus. But here's the truth: AI is not magic, it's not a sudden explosion. AI is slow, messy, human story. It's a story of bright ideas, massive failures, stubborn persistence, and even a few pretty boring mathematics problems. To understand where we are today, we have to understand the path we took to get here. So let's take a walk down that dusty road together. Let's look for the ghost in the machine and find out that it's just a very, very clever set of mirrors. Now, the idea of thinking machine isn't new. It's actually ancient. The Greeks had myths about Hephaestus, the god of blacksmiths, building golden mechanical servants to help him in his forge. They were called automata. That's the dream, right? A helper made of metal and gears. Fast forward a few thousand years to the 1800s. The Industrial Revolution is in full swing. We have these massive, beautiful, terrifying machines that can weave clothes and stamp metal. And they do it by following incredibly complex set of instructions. Some of them even use something called punch cards, pieces of thick paper with holes punched in them to tell the machine what to do. This is the first big mental leap. We can give machines instructions. But here's the thing, a loom doesn't think, it just does exactly what the punch card tells it to do. If the card says weave red threads here, it weaves red threads. No questions asked, it's a rule follower. Now we jump to the 1950s. The world is recovering from war and the first electronic computers are being built. They are massive, room sized beasts that guzzle electricity. And a brilliant, slightly eccentric British mathematician named Alan Turing asks a question that changes everything. He asks, can machine think? Now, he didn't ask it like a philosopher. He was a scientist, so he turned it into a test. He said, imagine you are typing messages to two entities in another room. One is a human, one is a machine. If you can't tell which is which, then for all practical purposes, the machine is thinking. This was the spark. It moved the idea from mythology and engineering into the realm of possibility. The dream changed from can we build a machine that follows rules to can we build a machine that learns the rule by itself. That was the birth of artificial intelligence as a field. And I wish I could tell you it was an instant success, but it wasn't. It was disaster. So the 1950s and 60s were full of incredible optimism. Scientists were making bold predictions. They said by the year 2000 machines will be able to do any work or a human can do. They were certain of it. But they failed, and they failed spectacularly. Why? What went wrong? They tried to build AI the same way they built that weaving loom. They tried to teach the machine every single rule about the world. Think about that for a second. Imagine you had to write a rule book for walking. You would have to write rules for lifting your foot, maintaining balance, not bumping into things, watching for uneven pavements. Judging the distance to the curb, it's impossible, right? We can't list all the rules for even a simple thing like walking, let alone something complex like understanding a conversation. So the researchers ran into a brick wall. The computers weren't powerful enough, and their approach was just plain wrong. The funding dried up, governments and companies stopped giving them money, the field went into a deep freeze. We call these the AI winters. It's not that nobody was working on it, they were just quietly in the background. But the public lost interest. They thought it was a dead end. The ghost in the machine was just a ghost after all. And this pattern repeated itself in the 80s. There was another burst of excitement, then another winter. It wasn't until a new idea started to take hold that things began to thaw. An idea that said, stop teaching the rules, just show the machine the examples and let it figure out the rules by itself. And that, my friend, is where our story really begins. That was the paradigm shift. That was the switch from if then to patterns. And that takes us right to the doorstep of the world we live today. Here is the single most important idea you will hear in this entire course, and I'm going to tell you in the simplest way possible. Imagine you want to teach a child to recognize a dog the old way, the rule way. You say, okay, child, a dog has four legs, fur, a wet nose, and a tail. Now go find a dog. The child looks around and sees a cat. It has four legs, fur, and a tail, but it doesn't have a wet nose. So the child is confused. Then they see a horse, four legs, tail, wet nose, but it does not have a fur. It has a mane. The child is now completely broken. You gave them rules, but the rules weren't too rigid. Life is messier than rules. The new way, the pattern way. You say, okay, child, here are 1,000 pictures. In some of them, there's a dog. In others, there's not a dog. Just look at them. The child looks at all the pictures. They might not be able to explain it, but their brain starts to see a pattern, a shape, a way the ears flop, a type of fuzziness. They learn what a dog is by seeing a million examples, not by memorizing rules. This is the core of machine learning. We stopped telling the computer how to do things. We just gave it massive amount of data, told it the right answer, and let it figure out the how on its own. This required two things. First, big data. We needed millions of examples, and that didn't exist until the internet came along and we started uploading photos, text, and video like crazy. Second, a better engine. The old rule based engines were too weak. We needed a new engine that could process all this data and find these patterns. That engine arrived in 2017. A group of researchers published a paper with a deceptively simple title, Attention is All You Need. It introduced a new way of processing information called the transformer. It was the single most important event in the last decade. It's the T in GPT, generative pre-trained transformer. It changed everything. It made AI go from a neat party trick to the world-changing force we see today. And that right there is the story. No magic, just a very long journey from Greek myths through freezing winters to a pile of data and a clever piece of math called a transformer. That's the ghost in the machine. So let's take a breath. If you take nothing else away from this lecture, take this. Artificial is not a certain intelligence. It is a slow accumulation of human persistence. It started with the dream of a helper. It stumbled by trying to be a rule book for the universe. It found its footing by becoming a student of the universe, learning from examples rather than instructions. And just a few years ago, it got a brand new engine that allowed it to learn at a scale we had never seen before. This is not magic, this is history. This is trial and error. This is human ingenuity. In our next lecture, we are going to pop the hood on the pattern way. We are going to see exactly how the computer learns from those examples. We are going to talk about the math of prediction, and I promise I will keep it simple. But for now, thank you for joining me. Go ahead, look at your phone or laptop, and remember, it is not a magical box. It's the result of a very long and very, very human journey. So I thank you. for watching this lecture, and I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye.